My cats are doing really weird stuff, so if you hear noises in the background, it's not anything different. I was gonna start off this video a little bit differently. If you've been subscribed for a while, you kind of know what we do here. We talk about shows and people on the internet doing weird stuff and doing illegal stuff. Also, thank you for subscribing, both vintage and new subscribers. We're almost at 500, so thank you for that. Please give yourselves a round of applause.
You love me! You really love me!
So I'm going to read some comments today because, well, I had time. And everybody's so creative. People don't like when you talk about the negative effects of obesity or just like bad health habits in general. And by people, I mean chronically online people that operate almost completely on feelings instead of logic. So I did a video on JBait a few weeks back where I related personal experiences as well as what I watched on my 600-pound life, which are both very real things that happen. Not sure why you're trying to die on this hill, but you're correct. You're also bullying, so I will flag you for sure. Heart. Oh, you're gonna flag me. I love that for you. Your leg day is definitely more brutal than mine with all of these conclusions that you're jumping to. Stating negative consequences of people's actions, like of what they're doing, is not bullying. I will point out the entitlement in people because I think that entitled people really need to go touch grass, work harder, and put in effort in life. With this logic, you probably believe that Dr. Now is a bully when in reality he just lives in, well, reality. And I make fun of the comical excuses that people give Dr. Now. Have you seen his show? And that's why this next comment makes sense. I think she's confused rights with privileges. You know, you really have a point there. J-Bay, she confuses the right to travel with the privilege to travel. Not everybody can travel by plane like her. There's a lot of people that can't even afford to go on vacation or can't afford groceries. If you've ever seen a 500-pound person struggle to walk, like, you can't be that oblivious to people around you. When you see somebody in that condition trying to like walk or get up from a desk chair, do you say,
"Don't worry, you're beautiful no matter what"?
When you see them struggling to breathe, are you like, "It's okay, no matter what anyone else thinks about your weight, you're beautiful"?
Doctor, I'm dying. No, you're beautiful. It's the fat phobia that's getting to you. No, I can't breathe. I need my oxygen tube. It's nothing a little fat acceptance will fix. Nurse!
What is it, doctor?
Get me a 10 milliliter vial of FA. Stat!
I'm on it.
You're gonna be fine. The fat phobia. You need to unpack that. It's killing you! Are you even old enough to be a doctor? I need somebody who can help me. Ma'am, I understand that you're scared, but let me put your mind at ease. I have been doing this job for almost 2 weeks now, and I've only lost 4 patients. No, we lost another one to fat phobia. Dang it. How could you die on me, Linda? I needed to make a TikTok with you.
I think this next one is my favorite.
Honestly, I don't know who you are criticizing, but dang girl, it looks like your face was attacked by bees. Jesus Christ, find a makeup/skin and lighting combo that makes you seem like anything other than a bridge goblin.
Ooh, bringing up my acne scars. Very creative.
Oh my God! Derek, stop doing it!
Just bring up people's appearances when you have no argument. Where have I heard that before? So I have a defective ovary. More specifically, I have internal varicose vein. Let me break this down for you. I actually don't get a lot of acne anymore, and most of the acne that I do get is on one side of my face because I have a defective ovary. There's no supplements or special foods because it's a structural issue within the veins inside of my body. Ovaries produce certain hormones, so you have blood that flows to the organs and away from the organs back to the heart. My issue is with the blood flow that gets interrupted that goes back to the heart. When the blood flow to or from one of those or the uterus refluxes, they won't function properly and you'll have hormone problems because of it. This causes dysmenorrhea. Though the pain from that condition is like a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10 most of the time. Multiply that by 17 years. Because of the blood reflux, the ovary is not going to produce the hormones that it needs to produce regularly. It's going to be just like really hit and miss. And also because the blood refluxes, the veins that are covering the ovary start to dilate dilate, which affects the blood supply to the ovary from what I understand. So I get hormonal acne on the right side of my face and on the right side of my chin, along with some extra hair that actually grows along my jawline and on my neck, only on the right side. I actually am going to get a procedure to fix the veins in my abdomen. By the time you see this, I might have already had it. I'm not really sure what day this is going to get posted. So that has nothing to do with my diet or weight. I can't use any skincare to remove these scars because these scars are actually very old. I've had these since my teenage years, and because they're so old, I would actually have to get micro needling done in order to get the scars to fade, or something else, whatever treatments they have nowadays, which are expensive, but that's not really on my list of priorities because I need to take care of what's going on inside of my body. I don't really care much about this, to be honest. I really didn't think about it until you brought it up. And now that I'm filming this, I was like, you know, I was really gonna wear makeup, but Secret Bunny Ninja thinks that I look like a goblin without makeup. But I kind of don't want to paint my face because it makes you so mad. I'm going to keep doing it. And I do know if I were obese, it would actually make my situation worse because obesity is one of the causes of the condition that I have. I was overweight, but I wasn't like extremely obese, but most of the weight that I carried was in the top half of my body and was in around the stomach area. I carried a lot of weight around my midsection, and unfortunately some of the weight that's there now, some of it is fat and some of it is just fluid that just sits in my abdomen for a really long time. It's more of a defect that I was born with. I didn't do it to myself, but there are certain things, certain activities that make it worse. Like I went to the gym earlier and then my left side started hurting because I had a cyst rupture last week and I almost passed out at work. But I still got my workout done and I did what I was able to do. I still go to the gym outside of that when I'm able to do that. It does affect my quality of life a great deal. Unfortunately, I can't really plan to do certain events because I don't know if my period is going to come and if I'm going to pass out and throw up all in the same sitting. I have to work as much as I can before that time of the month because I could be in so much pain that I can't walk. It literally disables me to the point where I can't get out of bed. I still don't expect people to accommodate for me and my chronic illness. My chronic illness is for me to deal with, seeing as I'm the one who's experiencing the pain, and there's not really anything anyone else can do anyways to accommodate me other than allowing me to have the day off from work just so that I can, you know, not pass out from exercising during that time of the month. It's been a long, very expensive, and very painful process in order to get an answer. Acne scars are the least of my worries, and I don't always wear makeup, so congratulations on having eyes for being able to see that. So the scars do not impact my quality of life in any way, shape, or form. Build a bridge and get over it. If it were just caused from me eating 10,000 calories a day and I could just reduce that down to 1,500 or 1,800 and then that would have cured my disorder, I would have done that if that were the answer. My life would be immensely harder had I continued to eat poorly like I did in my teen years and in my early 20s. I likely would have reached over 200 pounds by the time I was 20, if I'm being honest. That's how it goes. That's life. You didn't help your argument when you brought up acne scars because you resorted to my looks instead of responding to my criticism about JB's demands and her various hardships that she puts on herself and her constant asking for money even though she's gone on multiple vacations. I think perhaps the weirdest thing about the whole JB response thing and how people are acting about the video that I posted is that JB is on several medications because of the numerous health problems that she has. This individual claims to have worked with around 300 brands as far as sponsorships, including Dove, McDonald's, and she's completely aware of the irony of McDonald's having a high population of obese people. This woman is playing in your face. She's protested at an airport because they don't bend to her demands. She tries to bully companies into doing what she wants. She's been arrested, she's in jail, she's still asking for your money via GoFundMe. You're more than welcome to donate to that cause. I don't really care that she's fat, I really don't, but being fat is like her whole personality. She's trying to use it to like be entitled to things that she hasn't worked for, as long as it makes sense to you. And the video that I found about some of the stuff that I was just talking about with JBay after I posted that video, this one is by a channel called Jen, and I will link it down in the description because it's very interesting the way that the guy covers all the information about like obesity, and he really looks at it from like JBay's perspective because he actually interviewed her.
If I may ask, how much have they offered you?
We're talking probably over $10,000 per post for pushing Ozempic.
For like a single Instagram post?
For a single Instagram post.
Believe it or not, This person is worth more than you or I combined.
And that is where I saw that J-Base said that she was near 500 pounds. She also claims to have been born fat. I really wasn't shocked to see that she thinks like that.
And yes, I was born African American. I was also born fat. And as much as I've, tried to do things many times in my life to change being fat, it just hasn't worked for me. And so for some people, it's absolutely not a choice, and I stand by that.
I see.
It's a good way to really like put things into perspective about what J-Bay is trying to do is like going to affect other people if it goes through, which I don't think that it will. And it isn't just her. There's lots of people like her doing the same exact thing. Tess Holliday, Anna O'Brien, the list goes on. It's always everything you love about being fat, whether you're 100 pounds overweight or 300 pounds overweight. Keep all of that in mind as we go over the next episode of my 600 pound life in the next video. She is not suffering monetarily, and if she is, she probably wasted her money. If you wanted to help your argument, you could have asked a well thought out question or presented a well thought out solution, or you could have at least told me that you disagreed and stated why. I would have respected any of those options. And it's important that we recognize, even if for whatever reason a hotel or airline or amusement park ride turns her away, it's going to be because of safety reasons and not discrimination until proven otherwise. 99% of obese people are the way they are by choices they have made, consciously or not. If an airline says she's too big to fly, or if Disney says she can't ride the Tower of Terror, it's for her own safety, and if she wishes to do those things, she could lose weight. I feel so bad that she didn't have a proper support group to let her know this is ridiculous and she needs to consider her health. Clearly, people close to her are validating this behavior. That's very true. A lot of people have enablers. If you're obese or very obese, you might be able to kneel down, but you might not be able to get back up. And that is something that I have heard a lot of overweight people say, even directly to me. We've gone over my 600 pound life, and if you watch that show like outside of what I cover, you've seen a lot of those episodes. Almost all of those people have enablers. Either it's a family member or a spouse or a friend or a caretaker. They all have people that are enabling their eating habits. So this person is 100% right. Imagine the chaos of this happening at an amusement park, someone getting seriously injured or losing their life, because that has actually happened before. So on top of that, Jalen is using being African American as a way to get extra points or something against law enforcement, I guess, implying that they're mistreating her because she's African American, which I would have never known until she said it. So some other comments that I thought were very interesting were from this guy named Yellow Blanca 6058. Blanca, isn't that Blanca from Street Fighter? Is his name Blanca? He said, well, if you refuse to lose weight, be prepared to face issues fitting into places that are designed for the vast majority of the population that don't weigh as much as a juvenile elephant. I'm a heavy guy working to lose weight, but my sympathy only extends so far. I think inspiring people to do better is a good thing. I share stuff about people losing weight in a healthy way. Usually on Instagram, I share people that have made some kind of health improvement, whether it's giving up a really bad habit, eating better, getting to a healthier weight, getting more fit, just people that went on a fitness journey, because sometimes that inspires other people. There's different kinds of people that follow me, and that's just what I do. If I find something interesting, I share it. I encourage people to be the best versions of themselves. Be better than yesterday. It's kind of the motto that I follow as an artist. Your only competition is the artist that you were yesterday. These people live in their own delusional universe. How much does a baby elephant weigh? A baby elephant, also known as a calf, typically weighs around 200 to 264 pounds at birth. African elephant calves may weigh up to 364 pounds at birth. Wait, so J-Bay has said that she weighs about 500 pounds, which would mean she weighs more than a baby elephant. Okay. That is something to think about. And then he went on to talk about people that have like gigantism or dwarfism and how they face health problems. And it is hard for somebody like him because he's 6'2". It's hard to sit in certain places like certain buildings and cars and infrastructure that's designed for smaller people, which completely makes sense because there's not a lot of the population that is that tall. My dad is very tall and he gets weird looks everywhere he goes. I used to see him duck in doorways. My dad is 6'4". He definitely like gets a lot of attention from very short people, just a lot of stares and stuff. I remember that from when we would go to restaurants or go into Blockbuster or the grocery store and people would just be like just staring at him because he's so tall. But yeah, back to J-Bay, like, does she really understand how privileged you have to be to like afford to go on vacation and pay for flights, hotel stays, resorts, and other vacation destinations? I can disagree with stuff and point out the flaws. That's not bullying. I can also expose fraudulent behavior and talk about crimes. Still not bullying. In fact, it's warranted warning people. Not one person that's left one of the negative comments has said anything about what I stated about the cost of J-Bay's demands. And they haven't said anything about obesity being a cause of joint pain, difficulty walking, breathing, moving at all, really. Not one of you that called me a bully said anything about that. You just tried to insult me. Clearly, this isn't for you and I can't take you seriously. No one's forcing you to be here, right? Do I need to call for help? So I also posted a really short clip out of my Just Pearly Things video, and I was reading tweets that people left. So me talking in that particular part of the video, most of that is me reading other people's tweets. Does that make sense? And here's what people had to say about that. Why not? If we should follow your logic, you should shut up too. And that's when I said that nobody is forcing you to watch my videos, and they called me touchy for saying that. And that was somebody who only watched a short clip, and I linked the actual full video 3 times throughout that video and in the description so that people could maybe use a little bit more brain power and watch the entire thing. I mean, once you have all of the information, you might change your mind about what I was reading in other people's tweets in the video. Because most of that is not me talking, that part of the video. You have to remember, Pearl made a contest judging other people's looks because she doesn't like the way that she looks. She thinks very lowly of herself. She's said it quite a few times, where she posts women's much younger pictures of themselves next to their adult pictures, asks people what they find more attractive, which one's better, who's the catfish. I don't know, personally I wouldn't speak like that, and I don't agree with how people like say certain things or call them names in the comments, or like when they say stuff like that. They're a separate person from me. I'm not condoning what these people are saying in all of the comments. You could also just ignore me. So in the Just Pearly Things video, the points that I was trying to make were that Pearl constantly contradicts herself, and I constructively criticized what she was criticizing. Within that same video, I read other people's tweets, so the clips that I shared that were in the separate video, because I like to recycle content, those were all comments from that. So when I replied to people about her pedophilic tweets, guess what they replied back? That's right, silence. People really ride or die for Pearl. It's crazy. The woman that says 16-year-old children are hotter than 26-year-old women. Nope, we haven't forgotten that, and I'm gonna bring it up every chance I get. I'll bring it up at every relevant opportunity because ew. Who even says that? Unless you're wanting to lower the age of consent because you're a nasty creature who should never be within 100 feet of a child. She's a man. Y'all, she is not a man. Now that's mean. I wouldn't want to be called a man.
I find her attractive and intelligent.
If you like it, I love it. I asked about why she thinks that teenagers are more attractive than 26-year-old women.
Women need to bring more than looks. We can find out any corner.
With Pearl's absurd Catfish of the Year contest that she did at the end of 2024, she clearly thinks that women only have looks to offer and that that's all they're valued for, and she deemed a bunch of things unacceptable. Imagine Pearl trying to tell you what to do. Could never be me. She's reinforcing the belief that women have to look a certain way to have any value, and they have to be as young as possible when they get married and have children. Fortunately though, 99% of the people that make contact with her content don't take her seriously. And by you stating that women have to offer more than looks, you're actually proving what I just stated, implying and also explicitly stating that children are more attractive or hot physically makes me ill, and while I live in Batman's lair, I don't act like a basement dweller that's never participated in society. I don't know about you guys, but I feel much better. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you like watching this kind of stuff. If you want to just subscribe for the Dr. Now content, that's honestly completely fine, because I do have another Dr. Now video coming up. It's going to be really, really long. Also, I do have an Amazon store where I've curated a list of drawing supplies. If you are an artist like myself, you might find something useful there. And if you want to commission me for a drawing, feel free to check out my website, jasminebakerart.com, if you would like to hire me to draw something or someone for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, please give yourself a pat on the back for having an amazing attention span in a world of TikTok attention spans. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Because there can only be one champion, there can never be two.